What's up, weirdo? Shade Tree Surgeon here. Me and Shay Lisi headed out to the IMS motorcycle show, which is a little stiff for our usual fare. You know, we usually like things a little bit wilder. I don't know if they even serve beer there. I might have to just go ahead and bring one with me, just in case. And what better place to grab a roadie than the third most popular place in Tampa to catch a venereal disease, the #1 station for backwoods selection, the old stab and grab. Oh no, the freaking, well, that gas pump is broken. Well, luckily for us, far from the only stab and grab here. Oh, that guy's going the wrong way. I was like, geez, oh Pete, dude. One-way street, buddy. Well, today's adventure is starting out fun. We've already got broken gas pumps at the stab and grab, wrong way drivers. Let's see what else we can get into on our way to the IMS show. This place looks pretty shady. It'll do. It's got broken gas pumps too. We'll just use this one when he's done. You all good, man. Hey, how's it going? Can I get 25 bucks on pump 2? What's up? Oh my gosh. As far as stab and grabs go, I mean, we've got higher standards than this. Shay was right. This feels like the Twilight Zone. What's happening today? I don't know, but today seems kind of odd. No, California sky, baby. It's gorgeous out. Don't you love this? This beautiful fountain here underneath the overpass that the city spent all this money on and then put a big fence around it so nobody can even go in there. Who's it for? Big fountain with a fence around it that nobody gets to enjoy. You know why? Because the homeless population was taking baths in it. So the city's solution to homeless people taking a bath in the fountain was to put a fence around it. So now no one gets to use it. So what's really happening here? The city's spending money on it. The homeless were using it to bathe, and now nobody gets to use it. Just let the homeless people take a bath there. Isn't that better than nobody using it at all? Hey, that's our government in action, baby. Build a $3 million fountain that nobody gets to use because one group of people was using it in a way that they didn't like. Amazing. So I'll be honest with you guys, the real reason I want to go to the IMS show is because Honda's going to be there. And I want to ask somebody in person from Honda what they actually think about my hashtag, you meet the worst people on the Honda, which is, if you guys didn't know, you meet the worst people on a Honda is my hashtag on Instagram, where I challenge everybody with a Honda motorcycle to take a picture of their Honda in front of the seediest place they can find, whether that be an adult novelty store, a strip club, a liquor store, your local stab and grab. Hell, we've even had a couple taken at the old Bunny Ranch in Las Vegas, or just outside of Las Vegas anyway. And if you go ahead and search through those pictures too, there's an awful lot of scantily clad women on Hondas populating that hashtag, which old Shade Tree Surgeon's always a fan of. Oh, the fuzz. Shh. The cops even waved at us from their motorcycles. It's because they see just these two old Hondas, just two nice law-abiding citizens out for a nice putt on their scoots. Nothing to see here. Let me tell you what, 80s Honda touring bikes are the perfect disguise. All right, we are here, Sun and Fun, which a lot of you guys will know because, let me tell you, pilots and motorcyclists, they're usually cut from the same cloth. They do some really cool events out here at Sun and Fun at the Florida Air Museum. We ought to come film one sometime. Not the biggest fan of flying myself. It's pretty scary, but I do enjoy, I like looking at planes. I like to view them with my eyes. Flying in them, not always so much. I'm gonna go ahead and pick a little bit of shade here and walk a little farther. Next to some more gold wings, purple gold wings. I love it, baby. Shay's gonna go ahead and not park in the shade. Okay, we're here at the IMS Outdoors, or Shay is so lovingly named it the IBS Outdoors, which is something you never want. Yeah, you can get a strawberry shortcake. I'm on one mission, and it's a mission from God. I need a beer. We have our respective treats. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, yeah, there you go. Priorities.
Man, those new trucks blow AC right up your asshole.
A new feature of the Goldwing. Does it blow cold AC right on your butthole? I don't know. It seems like it could.
Those new F-150s are crazy, man.
It's certainly cool looking bikes, man. I dig the new Gold Wings. I think they look freaking awesome. So this whole thing about the new Gold Wings versus like the Gold Wings that I have is the Gold Wing I have, I like the way it looks for different reasons. I just like it because it's ugly. These actually look really cool.
I bet you in 10 years, or 20 years from now, we're all gonna be like, can you believe that's what they thought the future looked like?
Yeah.
Idiots! And then new motorcycles are gonna look like, who fucking knows, you know?
You know what I hate is like everything's all blacked out now. Make Gold Wings chrome again. Here's what I love about motorcycle events is you start running into people all over the place. So not only does John come to the bar all the time, not only do we run into him at Seminole Harley Davidson, but now we're here at the IRS show. And here he is again. We can't escape this bastard.
I just can't like step.
All right, he's probably like, I can't escape y'all. So what'd you do? You test the Road King?
Yeah, Road King and Sports Dress.
I love a Road King, and let me tell you why. Everybody loves FXRs, myself included. But here's the thing. You know when they started making the Road King? 1994.
Really?
Yeah, you know when they stopped making the FXR? 1993. And then people say they don't make an FXR anymore. They absolutely do. We just got a helmet sponsorship, okay? We're wearing cool helmets now, dude. I was wearing my nerdy shoey Neotech before.
Now you got a
and
bus.
now I got a bus, baby! Oh my god, I love it. Dude, let me tell you, a bus. This helmet feels so good. This is the new catchphrase. Helmet feels so good. I'm about to bus all over the place. That doesn't even. Yeah, help me. I'm a bus all over the place.
What's happening here?
Yeah, I need help. Can you please cut up my steak later too?
Yes, I will do that for you.
Wait, how does it work?
Baby burn me.
I haven't ridden a bike in forever. Is there a throttle?
No!
What is it? How do you go faster? Pedal!
No one ever taught him how to ride a bike. You guys just let him go?
I tried to take her on the inside, but hey, go. Let me tell you right here, right off the top. This is our new sponsor right here. A bus. So these bikes, just like the Combat Wombat, like all these old, like really easily made bikes like this, where you saw like a bunch of different bikes made by manufacturers that came and went. Like Hodaka, and there's a bunch of other ones too, just little fly-by-night companies, mainly made in Italy. To me, this reminds me of what the e-bike market is going through right now. So right now, there's so many different brands of e-bikes and electric motorcycles that just like, there's a new brand every week. And when it came to motorcycles, that was the way it was in like the 60s and 70s, because motorcycles just exploded in popularity. They were so easy to make. Everybody was making them. And so I just see a lot of parallels between old bikes like this, that from a brand you've never heard of, and e-bikes now. I'll tell you, I used to think Zeros were so ugly and stupid looking, and man, they've come a long way. I think that the new Zeros that they got sitting over here actually look really, really cool. Specifically, this Mint Street Fighter right here is just a really cool looking motorcycle. I like it a lot. And just specifically Zeros, for the longest time I thought looked really dumb. But man, they've come a long way in their style department, that's for sure. Suzuki. Big line over there. Here's the thing about Suzuki. I feel like they should be happy just to be included at this point. Going up here, one of the few people who talk to us, I'll talk about that later, the guys over here at Heroic, and we already know each other, but you know what? She was the one who hollered at Shay first before he recognized me. So this still counts as somebody who talked to us. More on that later. And super cool gloves. I've never actually, and I'm being totally honest here, I've never actually put a race glove on, like a true, like actual, like speed racer boy race glove on that was that comfortable.
For the record, that's our street glove.
Oh, street glove, sorry. Anyway, yeah, those are the race gloves. They're different. Okay, yeah. Those are big. And this is his personal tracksuit right here. Armored hoodies. I didn't know that Heroic actually started their armored hoodie thing. Shay found a little jacket she loved. And again, awesome people, awesome product. Good for you guys. The third time's a charm. Only one of 3 people out of every single booth he went into in IMS who actually talked to us and were excited to see us. So go check out Heroic. Good folks.
Farewell, progressive IBS motorcycle show. IBS Outdoors. Lame. Shalisi aboard the Milquetoast Pacific Coast. I'm on the Bangkok Bagger, baby. 2 Hondas at the IMS Motorcycle Show, and we couldn't even get Honda to talk to us. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The Progressive IMS Motorcycle Show was kind of a joke. I mean, I feel like I've probably been to worse events. I just can't remember when. Like, it was fine. We had some beers. We met some people who watch the channel, and that's always super fun. I always really like doing that. But as far as the vendors there, and there was big names there. There was like big name brands there. Wow, nobody talked to us at all. And let me tell you, I don't know if you guys know this about me. I don't ever like walk into a tent or a vendor or anything like that with my dick out, dick swinging, going, do you know who I am? I'm Shade Tree Surgeon. I do YouTube. I don't do that ever. I walk in like everyone else. I have my camera out, of course, because I'm taking pictures and making videos, but I don't ever talk about who I am or what I'm doing or anything like that. And we walked to every single booth there. Every single booth at the IMS show. And out of every single one, only 3 people talked to us. I don't need my ass powdered, trust me, I don't. But the whole point of going to something like this, and this is not even from a YouTube perspective. This is not even about like, oh, let me show off your brand or anything like that. That's not what it's about at all. The whole point of going to something like this is to learn about the product, to be like, hey, this is something I'm interested in, and to learn about it and have someone who works for the company talk to you. And Shay put it perfectly. She said, every time we walked in a booth, like when we walked in the Suzuki booth, the Triumph booth, the Honda booth, the Yamaha booth, the Zero booth, literally everybody, the Kawasaki booth, every big brand manufacturer. Like when we walked in and started like talking to each other about the bikes, it was like when you walk into a room and everybody was talking about you before you got in there, and then you walk in and everybody stops. Because the second we walked in, absolute silence, and we stayed for at least 10 minutes in every single booth, talking about the bikes, looking at them, asking each other questions about the bikes out loud, and nobody said a single word to us. It was like we were invisible. I'm not gonna lie to you, it was pretty disappointing, not just from a YouTube perspective where I'm like, oh man, I'd like to get a video like maybe talking to somebody about what they're doing, about their product or something like that. Not even on that level. Just disappointing because I was going to places really actually wanting to ask somebody what was going on. Like, I want to know about some of the Suzukis and the Yamahas, and we wanted to like have Shay sit on bikes and see what she could fit on and talk about the new models, and everyone was just like, we were untouchables. It was like we didn't exist. Even at the Royal Enfield tent, like I expected it at the Triumph tent. Triumph Motorcycles has always been too cool for school, way too cool to talk to us. But at the Royal Enfield tent, I was like, come on, these guys are for sure gonna talk to us. Nothing. And it's not like we had any competition. The event was not very well attended, so we walked into every single booth there, and every single booth there, we were the only people there. We were outnumbered by the employees. We would walk into a booth, whether it was Triumph, Kawasaki, a Royal Enfield, Zero motorcycles. We walked into a booth and there's like 6 employees there and 2 of us and nobody else, and we still couldn't get someone to talk to us. And I feel like this is very important to note because all those booths, and it wasn't just motorcycle manufacturers, we stopped by, there was like a motorcycle pack. They all talked to each other, maybe looked at us when we walked in and then pretended like we didn't exist. Nobody talked to us at all. There was like a motorcycle gear, like a luggage company with a basculus. I've seen Adam Sandoval use them before. They didn't talk to us. Went to the Shark booth, Shark helmets, which I have featured a Shark helmet on my channel before. They didn't talk to us. HJC helmets, nothing. Dunlop tires, Michelin tires, nothing. These people didn't want anything to do with us. I was truly amazed because, and again, like I said, I don't need my ass powder or anything like that, but the whole point of these events is to be able to talk to the people who work for these companies that you're interested in. Not just for me, not just as a YouTuber, but as anybody who rides a motorcycle, is to be able to talk to these companies and be like, hey, here, tell me about the product. What's going on? Sell me on it. Let me know what's cool about it. Let me know about your technology. Let me know about your company mottos and your outlook and everything like that. And everyone was just like, they looked at us like we were freaking a booger on the bottom of their boot. mute, just freaking looked at us and then looked away and went back to their conversation. How lame. Progressive IMS motorcycle show, incredibly lame. The Triumph one always cracks me up just because I've had a Triumph motorcycle on my channel for such a long time. For I don't know how many millions upon millions of views I've had with the Triumph motorcycle. And again, I don't need anything for this. I don't need anything. I don't need to get paid. I've never asked for anything. Like, that's fine. But to walk into a Triumph booth and not even have somebody look up from their cell phone to say hello to me, like, I mean, just as a regular customer, that's kind of lame, let alone like the exposure that I've personally given Triumph. I was like, wow, this is freaking pathetic. And Honda, you're talking about, we were standing in the Honda booth for over 30 minutes. We were talking about Gold Wings. We were talking about the Gold Wings that were there. I mean, Eric, Bagger Bro, and a bunch of other people showed up. We were hanging out there talking about Gold Wings for a half an hour. And nobody came up and talked to us. You guys remember when I was on the way here, I was so excited. I was like, man, I can't wait to go to the IMS show and ask someone from Honda what they think about my You Meet the Worst People on a Honda hashtag. Guess what? I couldn't even ask them about a bike. Nobody even talked to us. I know I'm going on and on about this. I just can't. You know who talked to us? There was 4 different people who talked to us. One was J&P Cycles. J&P Cycles talked to us, and that's because I had met the dude at Get On MotoFest. Cool dude. They were putting on the bike show there. The other person who talked to us was from Harley Davidson. Again, that I'm not counting the electric bikes. I'm counting the serial e-bikes because I already know Beth. I'm not counting that. But the guys from Harley Davidson, they had 2 engineers there who I asked a shit ton of questions that they couldn't answer about the new Revolution engine. But they came up and talked to us about the new Sportster S, even though they didn't know what our channel was, know anything about it. They came up and talked to us. We stopped by the Ruroc helmet booth. Ruroc stopped and talked to us. And then we stopped at that, which I thought was really cool. Like, Ruroc absolutely took time out of what they were doing. Again, didn't know our channels, or if they did know our channels, they didn't say anything about it. We just acted like regular people when we up there, besides the fact that we had cameras. And we are regular people. I'm not saying we acted like regular people. We are regular people. But, you know, we didn't say anything about the YouTube channels. We just went up there, Shay tried on a couple helmets, and they were really cool and spent some time with us. And then Heroic, it's like a moto wear company. They do leather jackets, armored hoodies, gloves, very cool company. And they talked to us too. And that was it. Out of every single booth there, and there was almost every major manufacturer there, like Indian wasn't there, there's a couple of the guys that weren't there, but almost every major manufacturer of motorcycles was there. And we spent like 30 minutes in some booths. Some booths we spent 10 to 15 minutes, obviously walking around, talking about the bikes, talking about the products. Nobody could give us the time of day. I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like me and Shay Lisi absolutely wasted our time. $20 too. It costs $20 to get into that event. I feel like we wasted our time and our money going to the Progressive show, the Progressive IMS outdoor show. Absolutely pathetic. I will say not a complete waste of time, because we did get to run into a bunch of cool fans, a bunch of cool people who watch the channel. That's always awesome. So I absolutely loved running into a shit ton of people there who watch the channel. That made me feel really good to get to spend some time with those guys, have a couple beers with them. That was awesome. So I'll never call that a waste. But I'm just saying, you know what? I'll say this about me and Shay Lisi. Me and Shay Lisi, for our fans, like, I hate using the word fans, for her fans who came there and were there and that we got to talk to, we did 100 times the job of anybody except for the 4 people I mentioned, the 4 companies I mentioned. We did 100 times the job of like making people feel welcome and making them feel at home and talking to them about what we do and talking to them about our videos than any other motherfucker there with a booth with a big ass company, Yamaha, Kawasaki, Suzuki, freaking Zero, Honda, than any of you motherfuckers did. Dude, you guys are lame. How lame is that? Y'all can't talk to anybody, can't do nothing for anybody. Me and Shay Lacey did a better job than any of y'all did. And guess what? We weren't getting paid to go there. We paid $40 to get in. It cost us 20 bucks a piece. We paid Progressive IMS $40 to be in there, and we did a better job than y'all. You can suck our dicks. Well, our collective dicks. The royal dicks, if you will. All you bastards. You know how you treat a normal person? Can't even look up from Instagram. The people there couldn't even look up from their phones, couldn't even break away from the conversations they were having with the other employees there to literally give us the time of day. I'm sorry, I'm gonna die on that hill. I'm not taking that back. That was super, super lame. And if that's how you're treating everybody who walks into your show, you ain't gonna have a show for long.
All right, y'all. After the disappointment that was the IBS Outdoors show, time to get back here in the shop. I forgot my hat. It always makes me feel naked. I mean, I never used to wear a hat, and then I did wear a hat, and then I didn't wear a hat. Now I wear a hat again, and now that I don't have a hat on, I feel it like a crazy person. I don't wear a hat at work, though. I don't know why. Whenever I'm at the bar and I'm bartending, I never wear a hat. But every other time, I'm wearing a hat. Anyway, let's get to it. I want to put this Gold Wing back together. I want this thing back on the road. I'm so excited to have Raspberry Buffet back among the living. If you saw the previous video, you'll know that it is running again. Everything runs perfect. Perfect. This bike still has issues, but you know, it's a 30-plus-year-old motorcycle with a shit ton of miles on it. What do you want? But it is running. The suspension is fixed. The brakes are fixed. I just got to button everything up, put it back together, and the Raspberry Buffet is back, baby. Comes when you take forever to put something back together, like I did. Now comes that fun part of trying to put the puzzle of the Gold Wing back together. Now here's something I'm excited to put on the bike. If you guys know, my last battery cover, my last left-hand side cover over here got blown off when me and Flip were riding to Texas for the Get On Moto Fest. And a super cool subscriber of mine rode a Gold Wing all the way up from Miami to drop this off at the Dirty Shame. You guys don't know, that's probably like a 5-hour ride that he rode his Gold Wing up there to drop this off for me. And I thought that was so freaking cool. Thank you so much. I'm just gonna leave that on there till it flies off because thank you, dude. Not only are these things really expensive, but you know, you went through a lot to get it to me and I appreciate you. See, the battery covers are the ones that always fly off. They're the ones that always end up getting broken and people end up losing them. So if you want a right-hand side cover for a Gold Wing, it'll cost you about 50 bucks. If you want a left-hand side cover for a Gold Wing, it's gonna cost you about 250 bucks. Coming down for the last time, baby. Well, maybe not the last time ever, but the last time for a while, hopefully.
Listen up, baby. The buffet is back, and we're only missing one thing. That sure is one ugly motorcycle. Well, you know, maybe I should have tried to fix the speedometer and the odometer while I was down there, but I didn't, so we're still stuck on 6669, baby. You know, that's why I don't want to fix the odometer. It's staying there. Fingers crossed that I remember to tighten everything that I should have, and both the wheels that I put back on this bike stay there. Might as well just go ramming speed and just find out, huh? Okay, fingers crossed. Everything seems to be holding together okay. Oh, it feels so good to have this bike back. I was never gonna I wanted to give up so many times, but I was never gonna give up. And you know, it's you guys keep me honest too, so I can't just sit there and go like, oh yeah, I gave up on it, because everyone in the comment section is gonna be like, you absolute piece of shit, I cannot believe you did that. But come on, man, this bike took me cross country. The original Gold Wing, the one that started it all. I paid $2,000 for this bike, and it's cost me quite a few headaches at this point, but I will tell you right now, I feel like I know this bike pretty well. I feel like I'm pretty confident working on just about anything on it now. Like taking the whole front suspension apart, taking the whole rear final drive apart, the drive shaft apart. Like, it makes me a lot more confident about this bike, believe it or not. Having brakes that work, that makes me a little more confident as well. It's brakes are sometimes a suggestion on old 80s bikes, but I do like it when the suggestion is there. It's crazy getting off the 1500 and back on the 1200 with this freshly rebuilt suspension. This thing literally feels like a Cadillac, especially compared to the 1500, which is pretty much a hardtail right now. It pretty much does not have suspension. It's got, like an inch or two of travel, maybe. It has no rebound at all, so it basically bottoms out over anything thicker than a dime. This thing positively feels like it's got dirt bike suspension compared to that one. And as I'm riding this away, all I can think about is planning my next adventures. I'm just going, man, got the Red Wing going, man, got Raspberry Buffet back in business. All I want to do right now, I'm going the wrong way. I'm going back into Tampa. All I want to do is be going that way out of Florida on this bike right now. Maybe not in that traffic, but hey, you get what I'm saying. The road beckons me. Its siren call is so sweet, and it's taking every fiber of my being to resist not just pointing this thing out of the wang of Florida and leaving it right now. But resist I will, because we got the Forgotten Angels camp out coming up. That's in a few days, and everyone's coming to Florida. I can't leave Florida. Everybody's coming here. All right, guys, that's going to about do it for this one. Glad to have the buffet back in business. All you can eat, baby. Pork Chop Express back at it again. Until our next adventure, until I take this crappy $2,000 bike and point it to parts unknown. Until then, keep it weird, y'all.